Hi, Donna Galinsky with Allen Tate Real Estate. Thank you again for joining me for another episode of Tip Tuesday. Today I want to go over the North Carolina home buying process with you. If you're a first-time home buyer or you haven't bought a home in a while, I'm just going to do a quick overview walkthrough so you know how the whole thing works. So step one, we sit down, we meet, we go over your wants and your needs, and we go through my buyer process. It takes somewhere around a half an hour, 45 minutes, and then we'll have a really clear view of what it is that you're looking for in a home and how I best can help you to find it. At the same time as that is number two. You're going to meet with a lender. If you have one that you want to use, one you've used before, somebody you bank with, that's fine. If not, I definitely have lenders that I can refer you to that I've worked with in the past and I know do a really good job. You need to meet with them to determine your buying power and to get your pre-approval. You cannot do anything on buying a home until you have that pre-approval in hand. Number three, the fun part, we get to go out and we get to look at houses because now we know what you can afford and we know what you need. And you might find the first house is the right house for you, and that's okay. That just means that we've done step one correctly. Or it might not be till houses 5 or 6, or at some point we might need to sit down and go over the buyer process again if you're not finding what you're looking for. Step 4, once you find that house, we write an offer. It might sound a little daunting at first, but I will walk you through the offer step by step. I'll give you comparables. I'll show you what the market's doing, what things have gone for in the neighborhood, and all the terms involved in the offer. Number 5, sometimes offers need to be negotiated. Although typically in this market, the seller picks just one, so if it need to be negotiated, we'll negotiate it at step number 5. Step number 6, I get to call you and say, yay, your offer's been accepted. That's my favorite phone call. At this point, you need to give your earnest money and your due diligence monies either by check or by wire transfer or through our various portals, but we'll discuss that when the time comes. And then we move on to step number 7. We order your inspections as needed. Definitely a home inspection is always recommended, and other inspections depending on septic, pool, well, etc. Also, on a single-family house, I strongly recommend that you do a survey to be sure where your property lines are, if there are any easements, if anything is on your property that should not be. And the lender will also order their appraisal. And the goal is to have all this done during the due diligence period. Then once we get the appraisal in and the inspection reports in, if there are any repairs or appraisals to negotiate, we do that at this point. The seller does not have to negotiate now, but we do our best, and normally if buyers are reasonable, then I find that sellers are reasonable as well. Then we go on to step number 9. You're going to have the utilities transferred to get ready for closing because you'll know your closing date, and you're going to have your insurance binder written as well and ready to go on your closing date. Step number 10. The day before or the day of the closing, we're going to do your final walkthrough of the property. Why do we do a final walkthrough? Well, we want to be sure the home is in the same condition as it was when the offer was made. 2, we want to be sure repairs are done if there were any repairs. And if it's something major, normally you might have the home inspector come back and do a reinspection, but minor repairs we can look at and see. And we also want to be sure that items were taken that were supposed to be taken and items that were left that were supposed to be left. And we're also going to do number 11 at about the same point, 10, 11. We're going to go over the CD, the closing disclosure that you got from your lender to be sure all the numbers and figures are there and are correct. And then we're going to go number 12, which is they're getting hard to do, 12. And you're going to wire the funds from the CD to the attorney. Now, wire fraud is really real. Really real. So be really careful and really listen. Only take wire instructions from a secure link from the attorney's office. Never ever take wire instructions in an email or in an attachment from an email. Don't take them over the phone, and especially don't take them from me. I will never send you wire instructions. Once you get that secure link from the attorney, you're going to open the wiring instructions. You are going to call the attorney on a number you have verified on the internet or on a piece of paper you've gotten previously from them, not something that's necessarily on that wire. You're going to call them and you're going to verify. We don't want your wire funds going anywhere other than they should have gone. So we'll talk about this when the time comes, but be really careful because wire fraud is a real thing. And then, yay, we go to closing. You do some paperwork. You do a lot of paperwork. And then you get your new home. And typically keys are not given until the deed for the home has recorded with the county. So try to do closings in the morning so that way you can have your keys and do your move-in by that afternoon. And yeah, so that's basically the home buying process in a nutshell. So let me know how I can help you buy your home in North Carolina, sell your home in North Carolina. And if you want more details on any of these phases, you can visit some of my other videos down there, or you can give me a call and I can walk you through it. So have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week on another episode of Tip Tuesday.